Well, this episode is going to be a lot of fun. Okay guys, let's get started right away. I have a lot to cover, but very quickly, first off, we're going to talk about the financials of DC movies compared to Marvel. I don't like talking about Marvel. I don't want to slam them. Obviously, they've been very successful, but something that happens with a lot of DC fans, or not necessarily DC fans, Marvel fans, whatever, they say, Zack had to go because those movies just didn't make any money. The first couple DCEU movies, they weren't financially successful. Therefore, you got to change the vision. It's too dark. You got to make it more kid-friendly. You got to be more like Marvel. So I did a little bit of research, and I'm going to put something on the screen right now, and we're going to go over this. Okay, so as you can see, the very first Marvel Cinematic movie was Iron Man. Made $585 million worldwide, compared to Man of Steel, which made $668 million right there. Man of Steel, higher gross. Hulk was the second movie, $265 million. BVS was $873 million. You get the picture. Iron Man 2, $621. Suicide Squad, $746. Thor, $449. Wonder Woman, $821. Captain America, $370. Justice League, $657. And then the very first movie to make $1 billion was the sixth movie from Marvel, which was the Avengers, that made $1.5 billion. And then as you can see on the same end for DCEU, the first movie to make $1 billion was the sixth movie, Aquaman, which made $1.1 billion. Now, I want to go more off of this, right? Marvel has had so many movies, and the reason that they have ended up making so much money is because of where they started. Okay? When you first come out with a movie, when Marvel first came out with Iron Man, okay, Iron Man, never seen that before, made a decent amount of money, but it didn't make a crazy amount of money. But then people were like, oh, I like that movie. I like the Iron Man. Then they come out with Thor, was okay financially wise, and then like Captain America did okay. But as you're doing this, you're building these characters. You're building a fan base around these characters. So then you come out with an Avengers movie, and if some dude doesn't like Iron Man but likes Captain America, he's gonna watch the Avengers. And same thing with Iron Man. If some dude likes Iron Man but doesn't like Captain America, he's going to go watch the Avengers. And then you branch off of that, and they make more money. They make more movies. And you take a movie like Captain Marvel, which was placed right before Endgame, and everyone wants to know why that movie made $1 billion because it's a piece of trash. It's because of where it was placed. That was a great marketing strategy, and it worked. It made $1 billion. That movie had no reason to make $1 billion. It was horrible. Okay? Now, let's switch it over to the DC side, right? Man of Steel made a nice chunk of change. It comes out. BVS, you add Batman in there. First time we're seeing the Batman in this universe, right? Makes like $800-some million like I just showed you. And then, Wonder Woman does good. Suicide Squad. They're making good money. But then Justice League comes out. And that's the hiccup. It did not make $1 billion. It did not make Avengers money yet because it was tampered with. That is simply why no one went back to that movie, because it was tampered with and it wasn't any good. That's why they didn't go back. Okay? But then what happens? Aquaman makes $1 billion. You know why? Because they saw Aquaman in Justice League and they liked him. Everyone enjoyed him. So, I'm going to watch his movie now. And that's another thing too, is these movies that come out for a first solo act, they're not going to make $1 billion. Like, for instance, again, Black Panther in Marvel. Black Panther was in Civil War before he even has his own movie. He comes out of Civil War, people like that, makes $1 billion. It all makes sense, but to say that the DCEU didn't make enough money, that's why it's not successful, is a crock of bullshit. Obviously, I just showed you the first 6 movies, how the finances, the DCEU is higher than Marvel. Just imagine when the DCEU has had 20-some movies, and then you can tell me where, how financially sound that was. I mean, we just had, it's not a part of the DCEU, but Joker movie made $1 billion off a $50 million budget, rated R. So, over there at Marvel, they're not doing that. But again, I'm not trying to compare. I'm not trying to say you shouldn't like Marvel, you should like DC. I'm just not. I'm just saying that argument needs to be dead, needs to be done. I just gave you proof right there. No more. Don't say, Zack, he wasn't financially, that's why they got rid of him. It didn't. No. Clearly, you take a look at that, you can see that Zack was making good money for Warner Brothers. Another big thing that happened over the weekend is just so dumb, but so stupid. there's this debate over Wonder Woman not using her weapons in 1984. And then Patty Jenkins saying that the reason they're doing that is because it's too aggressive. And I'm simply telling you, I do not know 100%. But I'm very confident from what I know that this is a misdirect. Okay? This is clearly a misdirect. If you watch a trailer and you see something in the movie that they don't want to be spoiled and you call them out on that, what are they supposed to do? Are they supposed to tell you the truth and ruin the whole movie for everyone? Be like, yeah, you caught it. Yeah, well, this is why she doesn't use the weapons. Or you can lie and say, oh, it's too aggressive, blah, blah. Guys, wait until we see the movie. And again, I could be wrong. I don't know. But from what I see, from what I've seen from plot leaks and all that stuff, I can see that there is a reason why she's not using her weapons. And it's a good reason. And you'll see why when the movie comes out. And then it will all make sense. And then we can all be like, oh, why were we even fighting over that in the beginning? But anyway, to go off that, let's not be so... Listen, first off, pick up a comic book. Know that Batman kills. Know that Batman, there's going to be different interpretations of the character where he doesn't kill. And that's fine. You know, Superman wearing the black suit, not wearing the black suit. Like, it does not matter to me. I don't care what these characters do. At the end of the day, make an amazing film, and I will be happy. I do not care. I said this earlier to someone. Joker never fell in chemicals. Joaquin Phoenix's Joker didn't fall in the chemicals. It was a fantastic movie. It was a masterpiece. I'm not complaining. You crushed it. Todd Phillips crushed it. He gave us an amazing film. That's all I asked for. If you have a good reason for Wonder Woman not using the weapons and it works in the story or whatever, that is fine. As long as you execute it. That's all we should ask for. Don't say, oh, Batman doesn't kill. Or Batman does kill. I mean... Yeah, like, and again, as far as picking up the comic books, but also at the same time, if something is happening in these movies that's not from the comics, don't get mad. This is just a director doing his own thing, putting his own twist on it, which is amazing, which is great, which is what we should want. I appreciate both ends. You give me a movie that's based off a comic book that was a great comic book, I'm down with that, no, of course, no doubt. But then you give me a movie that is not, it has no comic book accuracy. I'm fine with that, as long as it's executed. So let's not get our panties in a bunch over little things like this. It's dumb. Just wait till the movie comes out, watch it. You know, if it's a great movie, accept it and be happy with that. And move on, and not complain so much about the color of costumes and weapons or whatnot. Last thing I want to leave on has something to do with the Snyder Cut, and it's... I think this came out a while ago. I just saw it on Twitter, and I wanted to bring it up. And it could be completely false, but it was just too juicy to not talk about. And it's simply an Arkham Asylum scene in the Snyder Cut. Again, don't know if this is 100% accurate. But apparently in the scene, Joker and Harley Quinn are in the scene. They're in Arkham. And there's also Deathstroke and Lex Luthor and apparently the Riddler too. And there's like a breakout scene, and like there's like a huge fight, prison fight, and Slade Wilson is crushing skulls and doing his thing, and it just sounds like an overall epic scene. Jim Gordon is in there. It just sounds like an incredible scene. But with what this person said, he also said that apparently Steppenwolf dies in the movie in the Snyder Cut from Darkseid. Darkseid kills him with his eye beams, and clearly from what we see, that's not the case. It looks like Wonder Woman cuts his head off. So there are some inaccuracies with this statement, but it does sound like, you know, it's a 3.5 hour movie. You could have an Arkham Asylum scene in there with the... And again, if that is the case, oh my God, how much was taken out of this movie? How much were we not given? Who sat there? Kevin Tsujihara, who sat there and said, yeah, let's get rid of all this. Let's get rid of Green Lantern. Let's get rid of Darkseid. Let's get rid of Martian Man. Possibly the Arkham Asylum prison fights. Let's get rid of all this great stuff. If you would have released that movie as is, the Zack Snyder cut of Justice League, if you would have released that in the movie theaters, it would have made so much money and people would be talking about it for ages. Are you kidding me? Just think about that after coming out of seeing that movie. Oh my God, it had Joker, it had It had Deathstroke, it had Lex Luthor, it had Steppenwolf, it had Darkseid, Green Lantern, Martian Man, just like just everything. Aquaman underwater, Atlantis, Volko. I mean, just the names, Desaad. It just doesn't stop. Iris West, just the whole thing. Black Suit Superman. Like, what? How did this? Ugh. All I know is it pisses me off so much, but it also makes me so excited to see this movie because it literally has so much epicness to it. It's not even funny. And I can't say it enough. I cannot wait to watch this movie. It's from what I hear, it sounds and looks like it's probably going to be my favorite movie of all time. And that's what's so frustrating, is that we're fighting for a movie that we know is going to be one of the greatest movies of all time, one of the greatest comic book movies of all time, that we know that is finished, and we want to see it, and we deserve to see it because we were promised this, and we were not given this. So anyway, guys, that's the video. Thanks for watching, and please subscribe, because it helps me, and in return, I can help you. And as always, every Monday, Wednesday, or Friday, new content's coming to you from Subjective Reviews, and thank you for watching.